graduation rates are or promotion rates once our kids get to Phoenix Union among those who do go to Phoenix Union. And I do know that this is one way that statistically is going to derail an awful lot of kids, is if they get pregnant, possibly STDs, and obviously, once that happens, it's very difficult to get those students back in high school. So I think anything that's, and I realize we're doing this and I really do appreciate the budget constraints, but anything that's as scientifically based as possible to prevent STDs and teen pregnancies is something that I would certainly appreciate.
Yes, and I know that the committee did do a pretty comprehensive search of materials and resources out there, and there are quite a bit. And also, what is really fantastic is that we, as a district, we have a subscription to Brain Pop, and you'll see represented embedded within the PowerPoints. We're able to use Brain Pop videos, which we already pay the subscription. So explore that further, because again, it's a reliable resource that we're already paying for.
Robin, do you have anything to say? Yeah. Go for it.
Sure.
I would encourage the board to vote no on this because, I do appreciate the work of the committee. However, abstinence only is not real life. And I think this is a complicated issue and it deserves a comprehensive answer. And I think that we need to take more time to develop this to make sure that we're best serving the community and the students in our district before we even pilot anything like this.
I'm thinking something's better than nothing. And giving somebody information. We do have constraints with the state, with this county, which I don't agree with, but we have the restraints that if we don't serve our students by giving them at least the basic knowledge while we also investigate and try to find out which could be the most comprehensive program. But if we give them nothing, we lose the kids for the next year.
Well, does that mean we have to pilot, we have to approve a pilot today? If we vote no, we'll just I think take the recommendations that have been presented, further develop that, and then represent it, because this isn't a year-long program, right? This curriculum would be over a few weeks. I guess I'm guessing, I didn't really hear that.
Absolutely. Currently, as it stands, it would be so many lessons per group, and we would want to work with the site staff to schedule them so we could, get the feedback. Dr. Wagner?
I would just encourage the board that if the board wanted to vote no on this pilot, that they give us specific feedback as to what they want changed in the policy specifically, because I know that the committee followed the state regulations as they move forward. So if we could have specific feedback as to what you would like to see added or changed in the policy, in the curriculum, we would appreciate that. Thank you.
I think that the state regulations, I think they're being interpreted more narrowly than they have to be because of my knowledge of Irene and some other districts around the state. So I would want more information about that and how those programs are in compliance with it, because it's happening in other places. And I think some of the interpretations are only one way of interpreting it.
Is it possible to not, to just look at that and then bring this up in 2 more weeks or 4 more weeks, just to make a comparison?
May I just add one thing really quickly? There is also information in here that if, and this is in respect to immune deficiency and/or communicable diseases, that at the request of the school department, the school district, the Department of Health Services, or the Department of Education can review materials and give feedback regarding materials. So it doesn't outline to have other agencies provide feedback, but it does say that we could ask the Arizona Health Department and Department of Education for feedback. So we could, as is being suggested, gain insight as to the interpretation outlined in state board policy.
I would appreciate that. I think that the Arizona Department of Health Services and the Arizona Department of Education, in my experience working with them, are within specific areas are very, very helpful in providing that feedback to schools. Thankfully for federal grants, the Department of Health Services still exists.
Can I have a motion, please?
Move the governing board approve the pilot of the revised human growth and development curriculum materials for 5th through 8th grades during the 2011-2012 school year.
Any seconds? Say what again? I can't hear.
There was no second, so can I make a different motion? Making sure I follow the word. I move that the revised human growth and development curriculum materials be revisited. Can I just table it? Okay, can I table the motions for the next meeting?
It's been moved and second to table this motion until, I'm not sure of the date. 20th. September 20th. All,
May I ask a quick question as to whether or not that's enough time for the committee?
I would say that in my experience in working with the State Department of Education, I've not worked directly with the Health Department, that would not be enough timeline to actually sit down with them and also gather information from other districts. So
what do you suggest? Can you give us a suggestion on what would be a good time?
possibly we could wait till, the after winter break or mid-year, because for the most part, many sites prefer to do these lessons during, after third quarter assessments and/or into fourth quarter. There was discussion about doing some first quarter, not waiting till the end of the school year. So, but we, of course, didn't put any timelines because we needed to wait for your feedback before we moved forward.
Donna? In all fairness to the committee, and as Dr. Wagner requested, can we give them some guidelines of what you want to see and look for?
First of all, let's work on the motion to table it, and then go from there and get that done. Yeah, let's just table to a future date, a future board meeting. How's that?
Do we need to restate the motion?
No. The motion to table this to a future board meeting, I believe Carl did, has been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, it's been, the motion passes. Now we need exactly, Dr. Wagner had asked for feedback on exactly what the board wants.
So we wanted some parameters, but do you also want the information that we wanted? For example, we wanted, well, I know I
I think for the sake of the committee, they'd like to know what's not in here or in there that you would like to either add or take out? Or would like to have more information on? Pardon?
That's kind of a long list.
Can we, does
Like,
it have to be provided tonight, or can we individually, as governing board members, provide
As
that?
far as I can tell, nobody's gonna go home and work on it tonight, so I think we
And please direct your feedback and comments to, obviously, Dr. Wagner and Kathy Teagarden. I will check their progress to see if they need any help, but unfortunately, I may not be able to continue with the day-to-day work of this.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Okay, we are on governing board ASBA policy.